What up, people? It's your boy Marv Lat, and this is the Nerds in the Hood. Back again, another video here with your boy, yours truly. It's been a crazy weekend. I just have to say, crazy weekend. Deadpool and Wolverine came out, record-breaking numbers, number one movie in the world. Paris Olympics is going on, 2024 Olympics. Simone Biles, even though this happened, this is Tuesday now, but as I'm recording this, Simone Biles and the ladies gymnast team just took home the gold. I believe the American men just took home the bronze in gymnastics. A lot of other things is happening. We taking home, like, we already got over 20 gold medals or 20 medals altogether. Either way, Olympics is going off to a really good start, not just for America, but for other countries, well, at least the ones that's getting medals. But one of the biggest things outside of those two things that happened is San Diego Comic-Con of this year just took place. Now, if you're a New Yorker, you already know Comic-Con is big in New York, but it's just as big, if not bigger, in San Diego, in California. So summertime belongs to San Diego. Usually the fall belongs to New York. You know what I'm saying? But this is one of the biggest things, and it's crazy because so many things were discussed at this Comic-Con, but only one thing was taken away from the whole weekend. And Marvel did it again. Marvel finds a way to make sure that not only they're the center of the attention, that they're going to take that center of attention and run with it until they don't feel like having it anymore. So, I mean, shout out to Marvel for that. That was pretty fire. But there was a lot of things that was talked about, like next season of Family Guy, the fact that The Boys is getting a spinoff, Invincible's coming back, and Mark got a new suit. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a crossover event with Dexter's Lab. Let me stop on that for a second. I'm going to try to go through this as much as I can without taking a full amount of your time, people. But I need y'all to understand. There's going to be a crossover event called Crisis of Infinite Mirths, which is going to be involving the show Yellowstone, which is currently playing on Max, and is going to feature not only the old school characters of Yogi Bear, Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, and others. This is going to include Dexter, Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab, Billy, Mandy, and Grim from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Mojo Jojo, and the Powerpuff Girls from the Powerpuff Girls. And I'm sure there's going to be others. We just don't know who yet. But this is going to be low-key fire to me. I'm gonna check that out. Once I found that out, I need to find out the release date. I also saw one of my favorite shows, which gets slept on. It doesn't get the love it deserves, unless you're a real fan, which is The Legend of Vox Machina. Season 3 is happening later this year, I believe, on Amazon Prime Video. So we're getting a season 3 of Invincible, but we're getting a season 3 of The Legend of Vox Machina. This is a really good show, set in like a medieval times kind of vibe. It has similar adult, like, dark tones of like gore and cursing and stuff like that. So it's like Invincible, but just set in the medieval times. It's not the same exact story, but it's very, very similar. And what else did I see? The Boys, like I said, getting a spinoff about the origins of Vought. We're going to see Soldier Boy once again, a lot of y'all's favorite character. We're going to see Stormfront. She was crazy, but we're going to see how they were formed, how everything came to be. That I thought was pretty cool. There was a lot of different takeaways that came from this. But, you know, it just was, it's so crazy how Marvel was able to take over and talk about what they were going to do. And one thing that had everybody kind of just like stuck on shock, you know, like, I never seen something like that. Imagine you came with your big thing and you're like, hey, I want to show everybody what we're doing here. This is going to be dope. This is going to be this. Oh my gosh, man. Would you look at that? And then somebody walks past and go, ain't nobody trying to listen to you, fam. Something's going on in the Marvel booth. Like, you're just sitting there like, all right, man, I'm pretty pissed. Let me see if we could get more about this. But there's one thing I was hyped about is that we're going to get an adaptation of Like a Dragon, which is the Yakuza games. This is interesting because Amazon Prime is now about to test the waters again because Fallout for them worked. So if Fallout worked, then this should work, right? That's what you think. But we don't know yet. But video game TV shows have been doing all right lately. Even Knuckles wasn't that bad. And Knuckles wasn't even really canon. It was just like a little fun spin-off-y kind of vibe, you know? What else did we have that wasn't too crazy? So we got a Mortal Kombat DLC. So I'm just going to bring up certain highlights. The rest, you know, it's a lot. Mortal Kombat had new DLC. One of the DLC involved the T-1000 from Terminator, which long overdue. Ghostface from Scream, which I want to see how they're going to work that out. Because did he really have superpowers? I mean, I guess it didn't matter. If he's a killer, then Mortal Kombat is going to rock with the killers. And Conan the Barbarian, he wasn't a killer, but he killed. You know what I mean? You know, as they say, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. So he got pushed, and he pushed back. So to see Arnold again in another Mortal Kombat game as his second character, shout out to Arnold, man, because you was the Terminator in one of the Mortal Kombats, and then now in this one, you're back as Conan the Barbarian. So I think that's cool. So Sylvester Stallone was Rambo at one point, so that means he got to be Judge Dredd or Demolition Man. he got to up the ante on Arnold. You know what I'm saying? He got to come back as both of those dudes. I think that would look dope. The Penguin's coming out this fall. I'm ready for that. Danny DeVito is always credited as one of the better Penguins. And if you're an old head, whoever came before Danny DeVito is going to be credited as that. But Colin Farrell looks like he's coming for that spot. He's doing really good with the Sopranos voice and the walk and everything. He's making it work. Even the Oswald Cobblepot from Gotham was pretty good too, but he wasn't fully Penguin yet. He was working his way up. But he was really good as a young Oswald who was scared to navigate the world and didn't know what to do. Because that was, you know, he was coming up on the entry level vibes. Entry level vibes is always where it's at. And they showed the Fantastic Four, which I'm actually going to try to do a trailer gang about, because everybody, once again, if you saw my Deadpool video, people been posting mad stuff about what has been going on with Deadpool and Wolverine. But people also been posting mad stuff about what happened in San Diego Comic-Con, especially trailers that ain't supposed to be on YouTube. So I got to see the Fantastic Four trailer, the first teaser trailer they made, and it looked pretty cool. It gave a real 1960s vibe because the movie is set in the 1960s. If you don't know, the Fantastic Four is one of Marvel's first families, basically, and it's four people. They went into space. One of the stories is they went into space, came back all with powers. One man has the ability to stretch his limbs. Another person, his wife, has the ability to turn invisible and make invisible force fields. I believe one of his best friends unfortunately turned into a giant pile of orange rocks. So his body is just made up of rocks, but he's super strong. And then his brother-in-law has the ability to, you know, turn into fire, a whole ball of fire. So they came back with powers, and, you know, it made for fun entertainment when it came to comic books, cartoons, even the movies with Jessica Alba and the one with Michael B. Jordan. They weren't great, but they were movies and people were aware of it. So a lot of things were shown in that trailer. I loved in the trailer they showed, what's his name? The Thing, when on a matchmaking game. Because in the 60s, that was all the rage. Let's make a matchmaking, love connection. And they should have kept the trailer going where the girl just walking out and was like, whoa, I didn't want it to be him. Like, that would have been funny to me. But there was so much stuff that was going on that it just, again, I could sit here and tell you about everything I liked and disliked about San Diego Comic-Con. But you know why you went online in the first place. You didn't go online to find out that they were making a Yakuza TV show. You didn't go online to find out about Harley Quinn Season 5. And you didn't go online even to find out about Invincible Season 3. Although all of those is dope news. You went online because you wanted to find out, why the hell did Marvel make Robert Downey Jr. come back and not be this guy Iron Man once more? But we don't even know what they did. They just announced that he will play Doctor Doom in the next two Avengers movies and possibly the Fantastic Four movie. The next two Avengers movies is called Avengers Doomsday instead of Avengers the Kang Dynasty and Avengers the Secret Wars. And this should be big because Secret Wars in the comics was a full combination of different characters. In a wrestling standpoint, it was the Royal Rumble of Marvel characters. It was a battle royale of different characters all over the place. And now if you're talking variants, we are bound to get probably some of those characters all together. All the Spider-Mans, maybe both Hulks, Captain America. We are bound to get a lot of people, and it should be such a vibe. I'm so mad that we have to wait like 3 more years for that Secret Wars, but hey, it is what it is. Patience is a virtue. So I want to give my thoughts real quick on that. So with the Downey thing, I think that I love the move. I love it. Think about it at the end of the day. Robert Downey, his movie Iron Man 1 was the first of the MCU. And it was the first movie that really got us back into trusting comic book films. Because we was on a crash collision course. After Michael Keaton's Batman, we went through a lot of bad Batmans, right? And then Christopher Nolan helped us out too. But then after Christopher Nolan was like, I'm done with the Dark Knight trilogy, DC just, you know what I mean? So we didn't have a lot going for us in comic book movies. There were a lot of misses more than they were hits. And this movie came out and changed the way we looked at comic book movies. Everybody was showing up to the theaters by the time the first Avengers movie dropped. So now we're at a point where it's like we're back into that. We're pretty much kind of back where we started. DC once again, when we thought that they had a chance to make a comeback, they kind of are on a slow grind again. But James Gunn, we don't know. Suicide Squad was cool, so there's a chance he might pull something out and pull out some magic, and it might be good. So we gotta wait and see on that. But right now, it's just the fact that who else, in the era of nostalgia, why not get the guy that helped us love Marvel movies in the first place to help us love it again? Yeah, he's gonna play a different character, but you never know. He might just be a variant. This is the multiverse saga. And one thing I knew was when I'll never forget, I saw the show What If. Not a lot of people were like that show, but it was one episode that stuck out to me. And that was the episode where Doctor Strange, instead of making the choices he made in the original Doctor Strange movie, he made opposite choices. And it caused him to go mad and become evil for a moment with power. And we got an evil Doctor Strange for a little while. And it was kind of cool. So now you get a flip side of that. And you're going that way with Tony Stark. Imagine a Tony Stark that didn't want to get back with his wife. Imagine a Tony Stark that didn't want to save the world because it wasn't working in his way. Like Ultron failed him and he just was pissed. Civil War didn't work out the way it wanted to with Civil War. And he got his way. Who knows? Imagine that version. And then he becomes Doom. I'm intrigued to see how they tell the story of how he becomes Doom. Because obviously there's different stories in which it actually happens in the comics. But in a movie sense, they're always going to twist it a little to their liking. So Hollywood and the world could appreciate it and understand it to the best of their ability. And furthermore, it's not that it was desperate. It was just that this is what Marvel wants to do to help get butts in seats. Like, this is a business, people. We got to remember that. This is a business. If we went and got somebody, everybody was saying online that Cillian Murphy, Academy Award winner Cillian Murphy, who just finished playing Oppenheimer, which was a movie that Robert Downey Jr. also won an Oscar for, they were saying that he should have been Dr. Doom. And as cool as that would have been, you still would have to find some way to throw him into the story. And I'm sure they would have worked it out. But I guess somebody said, what if we just get Downey back? This is the equivalent of a wrestler leaving the company they were with, that they were doing okay on, going and just becoming something better in other promotions, and then coming back to the wrestling company that they started with. That's what Downey did. He left, he went in other movies, He entertained us as best as he could. He won an Academy Award and then said, all right, man, I did what I wanted to do. It's time to come back home. And then they were like, well, Iron Man dead, but we can make something work. And that's what they did. I am not against that. Downey is a good actor. He's fun. He's funny. He's probably not going to be as funny as Doom, because Doom is one of the smartest men alive. And he's one of the most powerful Marvel villains. But if Kang didn't get in trouble, Jonathan Majors, maybe we wouldn't have had Doom. But even if Jonathan Majors didn't get in trouble, y'all wasn't liking Kang anyway. So y'all got some blame in this too. All those people out there on the internet was like, oh, Kang is trash. Quantumania sucks. Loki's not good because of Kang. You got some parts to play in this. Because imagine Jonathan Majors never got in trouble. Never got fired. They would have kept it going. But then you would have asked for him to get recasted. And then he probably would have got recasted. Or we probably would have still came to this point. And you still would be mad. Y'all got to just get the tissue and wipe your tears and be ready for Marvel to do something good. And hey, worst case scenario, they do drop the ball. And if they do drop the ball, we got to be ready to stand there and go, womp, womp. That's it. That's really it. We got to be ready to accept that change. Marvel is accepting the change. Downey's accepting the change. And he needs you to be on board with him. You feel me? This has the potential to be something crazy good. Just sometimes I love a twist in a show or a movie. And this is one of those situations before the movie even started. Before they even probably wrote a script. So bring it on. I need to see Downey in this movie. We've been missing this man. You know what I'm saying? And then when Doomsday and Secret Wars finishes, the reported plan is that they're going to do a soft reboot on the whole MCU anyway. So you might not even see Downey after this. So, we don't know what we want, people. We can't have nice things. We can never have nice things because we never can just be nice about the nice things. Downey's older, but he's still the same Downey. He even said it. New mask, same task. Which I think that task is. To entertain you. Get y'all to come out to the movies and enjoy MCU again. Because Marvel also knows, and let's be real, that if James Gunn really does a good job with this DC universe, y'all might start shifting y'all attention over there and looking at Marvel the way we used to look at Marvel when we was doing the Hulk series and Punisher and sorry, got traumatized just thinking about those days. And we had to look for DC movies, and luckily for them, DC movies was just as bad until Batman Begins came out. So this is what Marvel's preparing for. They going to war with DC. DC's about to pull up with a bunch of James Gunn projects. You got Superman, Creature Commandos is coming out later this year. Peacemaker's coming back. There's a lot of heat coming on DC's side. And Marvel is loading up and getting the best soldiers for this mission. Because James Gunn ain't playing. He like, look, I had fun with that Guardians of the Galaxy, but I showed y'all I could do just as good with the Suicide Squad. So imagine what he can do with Superman Legacy and any other movie he trying to rock with. I am welcoming this war, but I'm welcoming the moves that they're making that's going to make me be entertained to use my movie pass and go see these DC and Marvel movies. So, folks, let's hold our judgment on the Robert Downey Jr. casting until the movie actually appears, whether we get a trailer or whatever, whether we see him first in Fantastic Four or the Avengers movies. Let's hold off, or a totally different Marvel movie altogether. But let's hold off until this man actually pulls up from 3 and says, all right, it's go time. Let's do it. You feel me? Like, we got to give this a chance. We got to give this a chance. The whole internet is going crazy. Crazy. I can't even talk to you about the rest of San Diego Comic Con because you won't even care. You be like, I'll look it up. Tell me about Downey. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be fine. Y'all are going to be fine. Y'all need to stop tripping. Y'all wilding for respect and ain't cool. You know what I mean? So, just cut Marvel some slack. But yeah, looking forward to everything else to come that came out of San Diego Comic Con, including Captain America Brave New World. And the fact that we're going to get Harrison Ford being a Hulk, which is going to be awesome. And he already said you just got to act like you don't care. And just like wild out And he did. And this movie's going to be fun. So I am really excited for what's to come. Unfortunately, we got to wait till February for the MCU to get their movie game back up. But it is what it is. We here. Deadpool's firing on all cylinders. Agatha's about to do the TV show thing. And then, boop, next thing you know, we'll be right back where we started. So shout out to everybody that did go to San Diego Comic-Con. If you had a good time, let me know in the comments. Tell me if there's anything I didn't see. I'll talk about it next time. But for now, as always, follow us on all social media at Nerds in the Hood. NERDZINTHEHOOD. You can catch anytime we're going to talk about upcoming episodes, clips for the upcoming show, clips from old shows, as well as our anime intros that we remix and put a dope hip-hop or R&B song on there. So keep on the lookout, man. We are only just beginning with our soft reboot, which is known as Nerds in the Hood. The reboot. Anyway, catch you next time, y'all. Peace. Welcome back, Downey.